It's Sunday, it's March 3rd. Um, General George Washington, still first president on the back of the ONE, United States of America with the Federal Reserve. I'm still Jackson and then White House. I'm still inside the United States of America, the flag. That's what they call the area in New York. Um, for the wider envelope. Um, so Tia Frio took me today. Um, I I wanted to try to walk. I couldn't get anybody to take me physically to church, so I attended via Zoom. Yesterday they had school on the weekends, so I let my son go to school with the whatever he saw. Um, and so that was that. Then um, he's doing some project for my father around the house. So um, had him. So I went to Home Depot just to get out. Just feeling so. It's it is just this really weird situation. Like you don't want to be with, but you don't want to be alone. And then when you're together, you just realize why you just don't even want to hear them speak, especially when the children are around. Um, so I grew up a very different way than the way that he grew up. I mean, on a personality profile, we don't match at all. On a compatibility for the way I was raised and the way that he was raised, we don't, we're not compatible. Um, so why, in like, if I look at astrometrics, if and only if the astrological Cancer that I was assigned at birth as like friend, just one, um, in like has an Indian tribe like assignment, and I only have one of those throughout the entire life frame. Um, for whatever reason in this area. And so that was enough of like a whatever. Why then I wasn't allowed to have like astronomical symmetry and like where the components to make products matter. Like it really would have been wonderful to have the RH appropriate like material um for whatever I am, but that never happened. And so it's two astrological Taurus. So it's a 1975 Taurus and a 1976 Taurus, and neither one of them are compatible to the way I was raised and the way like I perform, the way I was built. Just we are it has been a very lonely existence. Like it's just not fair. Um so we go to this Home Depot, and now we're in this park. First of all, we pass through an area which is the United States of America. It's the neighborhood my mother grew up in. Like my grandmother and my great grandfather's house is still there. And they put up these flags, which I'm pretty sure are illegal. I just don't know how to flag it myself. So, um, and I don't know who collects that kind of data. Um, so I'm going down Hempstead Turnpike, and there's all different flags. There's all different. It's mostly English, but there's some language that's no longer English. And then I get to Home Depot, and the parking lot is filled with people who don't speak English. And then I get into the store where they do speak English, and I see the United States of America flag flying. Um, and then there's surveillance cameras, but like different kind of surveillance cameras. Like there's these bulbs hanging in the ceiling, this black, large black bulb that's hanging in the ceiling, and then one of them's like disconnected, the wires are disconnected, and I'm like, whose surveillance project is this? I mean, it's corporate, it's Home Depot, but like what's going on in the neighborhood? I'm like, And then there's smaller surveillance, and then there's, you walk down the aisles and it actually has a picture of you as you're walking down, so like in a monitor to monitor way. So I snapped photos of it for my own protection against whatever is in this area, because I don't know how this information's being used. I don't know what it's being collected for. I don't know who any of the, like, as a custodial, I don't even know who these children are. Um, I like, are they appointed? Are they commissioned? Like, how do they get permission to even be here? Like, these are some real serious questions. I mean, I have a broken ankle, for God's sakes. I'm walking on crutches, and I'm with a guy. It's not like it's the safest relationship. So I'm like, what? It's just in this whatever, whatever, whatever. So, I'm just, it's just like getting to this 45 mark and realizing that, like, if God forbid my parents die tomorrow, I am not with somebody that I feel safe with at all. I mean, today he snapped in the car, and it was just like, and it's the snapping and it's the verbal abuse that I normally am very quiet about, but it's just because I avoid it. I just don't go anywhere near it. Um, but it's the verbal abuse of like, you do you know how lucky you are to have me? Um, and then like I've been around, like, if I talk about the machine and like how humans are programmed, because that's how I was built, is that like from 1 to 7 is the most important time frame, and when you're imprinted and most impressionable. um or at least that was the going, whatever, in the program that I was built into. Originally, I don't know what the hell's happened now. I was listening to Peter Cetera's song that like who shows up at the end of time, and it's like, I know I've already been brought to the brink and then put back, like as if nothing happened. And I'm just like waiting on, like, no, I know it happened, but I don't know. But where people like 1975 is the type of person where it's the psychological programming is off, where we live through a story one way, and then when questioned is almost like this pathological liar, like just cannot get the story straight. And I'm like, and so even trying to have a normal life, like his paranoia is so, and I'm like, think about this. I was like, when with my other kids when they lived with us, I never said any I never said anything about my ex ever. Like I had no reason to. Like out of sight, out of mind, never mentioned his name, never ever. And I mentioned that to him today. And I'm like, why would you think I would say something about you? I was like, I never said anything about whatever. And he was just like, you talked about him all the time. I'm like, no, no, I didn't. Um, there's just something wrong in the psyche and in the programming. Um, and I don't know how to break away from this. I just, I'm at a loss. Stop. And it's just constantly putting on this false front, just so this way it's like walking in a landmine where you just try to stay careful and walking on eggshells the entire way, not to incite crazy, um, but also to live under this constant threat of is just going to disappear with your kid is not all right either. I mean, that's not fair. Um, but that's just the kind of person the second Taurus is, which I didn't want. Um, and it's just a major problem. I had the first one who tried killing me, and then who like just started building up some kind of like case against me because he wanted my kids, and then have this second one in his twisted. I mean, I really hate it here. I have to be honest. I hate everything about it. There's no friendships built, there's no community built. I have my parents. That's all I have. And it's not fair to live this way. Not at all. And to not have any answers. Like, where did white people go? Like, why do I feel like one of the only ones left? It's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cattaruzza. It's Earth, solar system, Milky Way, universe, galaxy is broken, and it's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361.